the American dream right there. You know, beautiful story. But that ain't the way the world works.
You waltzing in here like you mean something. We're in the...
Carmine Falcone's dead.
If we don't protect what's ours, we just look weak.
Do you remember Carmine's daughter?
I mean to interrupt.
Sophia, I thought you was still at,
Arkham? No.
Hello everyone, Dan here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, we'll be doing a review for The Penguin Episode 4, Saint Anne, which, and just when you think that this show could not get any better, we get probably the best episode of the season so far. It is incredible how this show just keeps building and building with these daring tactics. In this episode, very little Oz. This is the Sophia episode, as you would know, probably knew coming in from the preview. And what a bold move to do a halfway story, like during the halfway point of your show, to pretty much disavow your main character and just give us everything that we need to know about this character that is fantastic. I think Kristen Milotti earned her Emmy on this episode tonight. Like, it is just such a performance. We're going to get all into it, all the details. So if you haven't seen the episode, spoilers are coming, but I am so excited to be talking about this fantastic episode of TV. So I'm going to talk about some details that we heard in the at the end of the show and inside the episode. They talk about how Sophia, especially the director of the episodes, Sophia is kind of the closest thing to a hero that this show is going to get, but not really, right? She's still a very messed up character, but she deserves an origin episode, and this is what this is. They also talk about how everything in the beginning of the episode, as she is kind of going back to relive her origin, and also bring the audience into it, is very brightly lit, very different in contrast to what we've seen so far and what we'll see in the, as Sophia kind of descends into this darkness. There was a lot more handheld camera, the more unhinged and the more unraveled that her life became. And then the design of Arkham that we see all throughout the episode was pulled straight from the film, from some of the details that we had seen either in the film or in the behind the scenes and all the art stuff. Everything is consistent to the movie, which is just a great touch so that this world continues to feel like the Arkham that we've seen. This world continues to feel like the Gotham that we see from the movie. We're going to get into some more details now. So we really see what happened, right? After the end of the last episode, Oz and Sophia were ambushed by the Maronis, and Sophia was kind of left to her own devices as Oz was helped. Victor came to save him. So we do see that she calls Julian, the doctor that we met a couple of episodes ago, and then we finally flash back. We see that Sophia was doing, in the name of the Falcone family, like whatever she could to keep up good appearances, doing charity events and stuff like that. She is approached by the press, who is looking into all these women that are dying of alleged, they allegedly hung themselves, but we get the impression that this is related to something that the Falcones are doing, because it's all happening with people that worked in their businesses. In this episode, we do get Mark Strong as Carmine Falcone instead of John Turturro, who was Falcone in the movie. We knew this change was coming, and I think Mark Strong delivers just as strong as a performance. It is also very interesting because he's supposed to be younger as well, right? So it makes sense that maybe he looked a little bit different. It has been 10 years since the time, and I think they did such a good job styling Sophia to look so much different than what we see her now. Sophia was in line to run the family. We do learn that in this episode, and she does end up meeting the press. We know that Oz was her driver, and he's the one that kind of turned her into her dad, and he's kind of the reason that everything is happening, unfortunately, for Sophia. So that's why we finally learned why there was so much mistrust and distrust amongst them. They really are each to really only look out for themselves. We see Sophia that is she's framed by her father to being this hangman killer, which like kind of absolves him, of course, of everything, but also kind of implicates her in everything that's going on. Really messed up. We see Sophia being taken into prison, and that was just a rough like after this, things get pretty rough for Sophia. Like, she's taken to prison, treated very poorly at Arkham. We do meet Julian at Arkham for the first time, so that's probably where they also originally met, along with some other people. One fun thing, if you're a comic reader, we do hear that there's a prisoner next to Sophia in her cell who calls herself Magpie. Magpie is a character from the comics. I'll probably do a little short about Magpie if you're interested in that. So keep an eye out on the channel for that. And then Sophia is attacked in prison. This was probably something that her father or the people at Arkham also set up because it was a prisoner that was kind of running around loose. After this, she's taken into electroshock therapy, and things just kind of continue to devolve. The situation gets so bad for her. This is where I just wrote down my note that Milady earned her Emmy tonight just with this performance. She does end eventually attack an inmate at Arkham, and man, oh man, it is like she kills Magpie, who like was um she wasn't teasing her, but she also kind of betrayed her because she was the one that was kind of pumping Sophia for information, maybe to incriminate her with the doctors, all in exchange for the drug that we now know where the drug origins also came from. So after that, we wake up in the present once again. Julian has rescued Sophia, and Sophia goes home for dinner. Right, this is the last night she'll be there before she has to leave per her uncle's orders. One of my favorite lines, and probably the quote of the night, just Milioti saying, "Can you pass the meatballs?" That was so good. She confronts everyone because everyone at that table betrays her. And I knew something was coming once that happened. I just didn't know exactly how it was going to break down. I thought she might have poisoned the wine originally, but she also drank out of that. So I didn't think that was the case. So she goes through the night and takes the little girl. I believe her name is Gia, who's like her cousin's daughter. And they both go to the greenhouse. They spend the night there, away from everyone else, kind of like if they were camping. And then in the morning, we see that she goes back into the house with a gas mask, and she poisoned everyone, like carbon monoxide poisoning or something. Like, I believe she went back down to the furnace and she had a tube connected to the AC. It was like as soon as she stepped into the house, I knew that she had killed everyone. I just didn't know how she had done it. So man, oh man. Well, she killed everyone except Johnny VD, who kind of she has him on the hook now. Well, I guess she had him on the hook prior, but I don't know exactly what leverage she has on him now, other than her being the heir apparent to the Falcone family, right? Because only the people in the house, only her family died, and obviously we saw a little bit from the next episode that the cops will come and there'll probably be some kind of investigation, but I mean, the Falcones have a lot of police resources in their pocket. So um, we get at the end Strange Little Girl by the Strangers plays for the credits, which I love how much this show is using like really good music at the end credits to kind of wrap up the theme of the episode. I think it's funny because Agatha all along is doing something very similar. Where they'll have a specific song play at the end of the episode. So kudos to these shows for spending the extra money licensing these great songs to kind of really uh, put a final exclamation mark on the theme and on what they're trying to say for the episode. I love that every detail, and they go into. If you're not watching the inside of the episodes, you're really missing out on a lot. Like if you're just kind of a nerdy for how these things are made, they go into every detail of Sophia being planned to a T. Just her hair, the makeup, the scars that she has left from her time at Arkham, her dress. It's all part of her rebirth and her now claiming this spot here as the top of the family, right? Because no one is in her way now. So things are going to be really bad for Oz, who left her behind. We know that they are in the middle of this war with the Maronis. So who knows what it is really. Power is now truly up for grabs in Gotham. And I think that's where the Penguin wants to fill in that vacuum of power. So yeah, very exciting stuff. I love this episode. It was fantastic. This show, just when I think that it can't get better, it gets better. And I love that. So if you have seen the show, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. As always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. And as always, thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.